Hello everyone, Justin here, and today we are going to be drawing this cone flower. So we'll start by drawing the center of its flower, which is going to be an oval just because of the angle. And we'll start drawing the petals, first the ones that are by the front. Now these are of course going to vary in shape somewhat as we draw them. And as we go further back, the petals will naturally overlap the ones that are in front. So we're doing the front ones first. And remember that the tips of these petals, as they go further back, are also not going to reach as far down into the paper as the ones that are in the front. Here I'm drawing some more petals. Now these are mostly the ones that are towards the back. So as I mentioned, they're going to be a little bit shorter. They're going to be further back. And we'll differentiate these a little bit more as we add some shading. So I'm using a fairly fine point pen here, and now I'm going to start adding some of the kind of pointy little parts here that are in the center. Forget the names of these, but as it turns out, these things are actually fall in a diagonal pattern. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of adding where these things are going to be laying, and as they go closer to us, it'll turn out to be more it'll be foreshortened basically. So instead of being an elongated oval, it'll be circular. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm just following our outline here. That way they form that pattern. Some of these will disappear as I add more shadow, and here I'm going to add some of the really dark tones now with a Sharpie, somewhat avoiding those little details that we added earlier. It's not going to be possible to not lose some of these. So, but the main idea here is to add depth and shape and form by adding the deep shadows on the lower right side of the center. And I'm switching now to my fine point pen again, just to add some of the more midtones here. And I'm using just scribbly lines here. So now I'm going to go on and start adding maybe some shadows on the petals. And what I'll do here is I'll first add some detail here, and I'm using very light pressure, and so I get this kind of interrupted very faint line for the centers of the flowers. Now I decided to just use pointillism here, really lots of dots to add the darker tones. So the closer the dots are, the darker the tones. So just separate them as you want lighter values. And I'll just try to use this throughout. And if you need really dark tones, you could always use your Sharpie again, just to get the really dark tones very quickly. But you'll have to use the finer point pen to get a nice gradient from the solid darks of the Sharpie to the midtones. Here I've already added the stem, and again I'm using the same technique of adding the shadows and the values using dots. And that's pretty much it. I'm trying to keep the outlines of all the petals still thin, give it a nice light, airy quality to the whole drawing. Now, just to separate these out a little bit, I am adding some thicker lines, mostly at the base, and this just kind of helps to separate some of these petals, because they tend to be blending in too much. But again, I'm keeping the tips of the petals thin, again, just to keep the whole feeling somewhat light. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope you got something out of this video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.